שלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני העם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
Love. You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these commandments I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live by my way. Speak of them when you're home, when you're on your way, when you lie down and get up and go about your day, as a sign on your hand and upon your head. On the side of your doorposts, my commandments may always be read. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shekemo Malachuto
ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה Tola min hamidbar
You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these commandments I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live by my way. Speak of them when you're home, when you're on your way, when you lie down and get up and go about your day, as a sign on your hand and upon your head, on the side of your doorposts, my commandments may always be read. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shekemo Malechuto Leolam Vaed. Please remember, observe all these words that I've said, to live and be holy for years straight ahead. For I am your God, out of Egypt I led. Be holy, be righteous, remember the words that I've said. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shekemo Malechuto Leolam Vaed. You shall love Adonai with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all of your might. Take to heart these instructions I give you this day. Remember and tell all your children to live, oh, to live and remember my ways. generations and generations and L'dor vador, vador, vador.
Look around the world, look around your town. Every single age is represented all around. You see them everywhere, every street, avenue or boulevard. Anywhere, any beach, any park or any yard.
L'dor vador, for generations and generations and L'dor vador, vador, vador.
Ecclesiastes said one generation goes and another generation arrives. He got it wrong. For years we all live side by side.
Can you lean on those who arrived here before? Can you learn from those you remember being born?
Can you see that we are all together evermore?
L'dor vador, for generations and generations and L'dor vador, vador, vador. L'dor vador, for generations and generations and L'dor vador, vador, vador. L'dor vador, for generations and generations and L'dor vador,
We're on page 10.
Or you can look up on the screens when it appears.
Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is to be together, together as one in love, joy, and laughter. How good it is to be in this moment together. Kulanu biyachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Try if that's hine ma tov. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is to be together, together as one with love, joy,
together. Kulanu Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to ask Ellen Lerner to come up to light the candles for us because it's her big night. Her son's having a little Ufruf blessing tonight, and she's so excited. And so we're going to have her light you don't have to say anything. You just need to come and light the candles. We're on page 2. You're going to bring the light of Shabbat into this room tonight, whenever you're ready.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Today, I was thinking about this very moment in the service. I think sometimes that God created the world in a week because every week it's almost as if a world happens. And every week's so different. Yet what's the same is that I'm going through it. And sometimes my heart's full and sometimes my heart is heavy and sometimes I can breeze through the week and sometimes it feels like I'm walking through thick mud and I can barely pull my feet out of the ground. So now's the time to kind of go through our week and think about what kind of week you had. And then think about today, this afternoon, this evening, and how we've kind of hopefully been lifted up a little bit as we come into this space so that we can begin Shabbat with peace in our hearts. So let's just take some quiet time now. If you'd like to close your eyes, you may. And to meditate upon this week in a Chazarat HaShavua, a review of our week. And then we'll come back and we'll continue. Continue to welcome Shabbat with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela Lecha Kala, Pene
5. Hitoreri, kiva orech, kumi ori, uri uri, shir daberi, kavod Adonai, alayich nigla lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. We face the door to welcome the Sabbath bride.
Ohi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam besimcha, usochola, toch emunei, am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi. Likat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. I don't, you never know why everyone gathers in one area, but today we actually have a kind of reunion of sorts in that when I was first here, in this space, this sanctuary looked very different, and the bima used to be a lot higher, the ark was a lot higher, and there was like this little landing area in front of there, and we used to do family services, and I'd sit over there and I would tell stories to the students, and there was a group. The parents are all here now, a little grayer, as I am. Well, I'm actually not, but you know what I mean. You think they're going to be little forever, right? Yet tonight we have a special Ufruf blessing for one of those students who's getting married. And I must say it is a little humbling, right? To know, first of all, that I haven't grown at all in that time. And yet Mattathias, who's here tonight with his bride-to-be Tara, he's a lot older. For some reason, he seems to have gotten a lot older than I got a lot older. So I'd like to invite Mattathias and Tara up for a special blessing for their wedding coming up in a couple of weeks. They're in town today, so we thought we'd take advantage of this and give them a blessing. Let's go up by the ark. So they live in New York City, so they're slumming it here on the west side of the United States. So this is not your wedding blessing. This isn't what's going to happen under the chuppah. This isn't what's going to happen when the two of you exchange rings and exchange vows. But this blessing today is so that you can be prepared for that and that you can go into that with an open heart and with an open mind. So I want to offer you this blessing this evening. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu. May the one who blessed all of our ancestors bless the two of you who have come here to honor this Sabbath, to honor this congregation, honor your families, and to honor each other as you wait in anticipation for the day that you get, you don't throw the candy till afterwards, guys. I hear a lot of stuff going on. As you wait in anticipation for the day that you become a married couple, may there be a sense of peace and excitement that infiltrates your soul so that you're able to appreciate and be present to each other and your family and your friends in the weeks leading up to and especially on the day of your wedding. May your hearts align with the sense that what you're doing is meaningful and it's holy. Two people coming together in love to begin your lives together, to start your own family together. The time coming up will be a time that it's important to reflect upon your past, who you were, but also who you will be and who the two of you are becoming together. Most of all,
May you find this time in your life as the most pleasant, exciting, and stress-free. There is enough stress in our regular lives. Then you will sense and feel the spiritual magnitude your souls being bound together will have in your lives. And we all say, Amen. Now you can throw the candy as she sings.
Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yehi Lanu, Yehi Lanu, Yehi Lanu, Ulechol Yisrael, Yehi Lanu, Yehi Lanu, Ulechol Yisrael. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Yelanu. Big Mazel Tov! Mazel Tov!
I will point out that the little children there, that's another student that we used to tell stories to, so that's next. I'm just saying. Different blessing. Let's go to page 28. Yeah, we'll pick it up. Go to page 28 for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Please rise.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. We've come to that time in the service where we began by welcoming in Shabbat, and we've welcomed in our new couple, and we've gotten ourselves ready for prayer. The Sabbath bride has come into the space, and now we turn to the Shema on page 34 and 5. But the tradition is to close our eyes for this prayer. And as we close them and you see that darkness under your eyelids, it reminds us that we're a part of that whole universe. We are that nothingness and everythingness at the same time. And the Shema is a prayer that binds us in a way to the oneness that makes up everything. So we tie ourselves to our families and our friends and even our homes and our town and our city, and then it just goes out and out and out until we're tied to absolutely everything, that we're a part of it and we're part of that fabric of that oneness. So let us sing together, Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod, Malachuto, Le'olam Va'ed. We continue now on page 40 as we sing that song that the Israelites sang as they were freed from Egypt.
מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע יום לפני משה מרים זה אלי אנו ואמרו זה אלי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Turn now to page 42. And this is a prayer that we say as we go to sleep at night or when we're at our most vulnerable. Maybe it's a little frightening sometimes. Close our eyes, it's in the dark, thoughts come into our heads, and so we ask for just this small measure of peace to come inside of us so that we can sleep more peacefully this evening and wake up in the morning just with that measure of more peace in our hearts. Hashkivenu.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Amen.
Please go to page 46 as we turn to our private prayers, the thoughts and prayers that are in our hearts this evening. We'll say the first line together so that whatever in our hearts can come up and meet us on the tips of our tongues and on our lips so that we can say the praises we need to say. And then we'll go to page 62 silently. So you can use prayers in the Siddur, prayers in your heart, whatever you'd like. So let us rise together. For Adonai Sfatai Tiftach.
Ooh.
Before we continue on with the service, we're going to take a moment to think about those people who are in our hearts and minds because they're ill and in need of healing. And we have a special version of this tonight. You may not know this, but today is Matt Davidson's last day working at the synagogue. 5 years? 4.5 years that he's been with us, and it's been a true pleasure to have you as our executive director and our working in the synagogue during a really difficult time. You know, I don't know if you knew this, there was a pandemic in the last several years. And Matt is going on to work at AJU in their fundraising arm. And we're very excited for him to continue on to the next part of his life, but it is sad that we're saying goodbye. And I don't know if you know this, but one requirement if you're working at Temple Emanuel, you have to be a musician, you have to write music, and you have to sing. And to that end, Matt wrote a really beautiful Misha Berach that he's shared with us several times over the years, and we thought that in his final service here at the temple that he could share this Misha Berach with us one more time. So what we'll do, we'll hear the first part, and then I have a list to read of those people in the congregation who are ill, and then I'll come around and gather names from everybody here, so that and the Cantor will have the list online from Facebook and YouTube, so that we can take all these names, bring them into our hearts, and pray on behalf of all those that are in need of healing. So now it's up to you, Matt.
You also might not know this, but Matt won a really prestigious award. I mean, it's from 2008, 2006? 2002 and 2004 for pieces. It's called the Simon Sargon Award through the Guild of Temple Musicians. And just a week ago Sunday, there was a huge concert, and it featured Matt's piece, Shabbat Hamalka. So be sure to be watching for Matt's music.
Misha Berach Avotenu, Misha Berach Imotenu. May the light of God give you strength and might. May this blessing heal your soul tonight. Refuah Shlema, Refuah Tanefesh, Refuat Aguf, Amen.
Vicky Braslow, Chana Batsara, Eitan Chaim, Richard Chernock, David Childs, Ann Childs, Woody Clark, Jay Clement, Iris Cutler, Richard Dickies, Judy Fenton, Patty Goodman, Andy Hale, Helene Hale, Lori Haynes, Naomi Batchaim Ishai Uvrana, Sis Klein, David Lerner, Jay Mark, Kathleen Agnes McCarthy, Sheila Merowitz, Missy Pakin, David Pick, Deborah Rhodes, Howard Rosen, Warren Roston, Sandy Silas, Lindy Sobel, Mabube Soleimani, Jesse Taylor, Bill Terry, Phyllis Torse, Harav Aharona Bat Tzvia Yosef, Helena Wachtel, Pessel Bat Gittel Ve'ichel, Sonia Ann Weggy, Amanda Wolin, Yudit Bat Nehama Mordechai, and Howard Zellico.
Adria Bloom, Debbie Rubin, Beth Cooper, Kendall Collins, Beth Owen, Beth Rubin, Tinny Johnson, Sharon Webb and Cheryl Fishman, Quinton and Dylan Bird, Michael Kaufman, Paulette Miller, Jenny Thompson, Larry Kay, Marie Valentine, Gary Taylor, Adisa Batsara, Rosa Batsara, David Kunkel, Judy Fenton, Jacob Barujo, Karen Alexander, Pamela Bennett, Guy Allison, Jesse Knudsen.
Misheberach imotenu, Misheberach avotenu. May these words we sing put your mind at ease. May this blessing give you love and peace. Refuah shlema, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, amen. Misheberach avotenu, Misheberach imotenu. Amen, amen, amen.
Thank you so much, Matt. Feel like this last moment you shared your soul with us, and really appreciate that so much. Shabbat Shalom. I imagine that at one time or another that you may have, as I have before, felt, I don't know, that you weren't able or qualified for a certain job or something that you were doing, or an honor or a present that someone to give you. You're like, oh, I'm not worthy of it. I'm sure that some of you feel it more acutely than others. And you may be among those who feel you've actually never been in that position, that you always feel like you're on top of it and you have everything, in the palm of your hand. I remember literally the first day that I sat here. And it's ironic that you're here, Rabbi Geller. On all the Shabbatot on Friday night. You haven't been in a while on a Friday night, and you're here tonight. It's funny that this is what I wrote. But I remember, it was the first time that the word rabbi and my name was glued to a door, right? And I mean, I had books that I had a book stamp, said property of Rabbi Jonathan Aaron. And I had little buck slip. It said, from the office of, that whole thing. And I'm there and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done one bar mitzvah, one wedding, one funeral, one baby naming. I literally had never done anything. And yet people were still going to call me rabbi, just because I guess I had gone to school. So a short while later, Rabbi Geller is in Norway, and a woman passes away. I hadn't even done a funeral yet. It was Dawn Steele was her name. If you don't know who Dawn Steele is, she was the first woman ever to run a studio. She ran Paramount Studio in the 80s. She was responsible for Footloose, just to give you a little context. And so there I was. I had to go up and meet the family and do this funeral for a woman who was, in Hollywood at least, quite famous. There were going to be a lot of people there. And I go into the room to talk, and I'm like, I'm shaking. I had no idea how to do what I was about to do. So, thank God, they talked to me for the time I was with them, and then they gave me her book. And I took her book home, and I'm reading it, and she describes an incredible scene where she is at Paramount, first day, and she's sitting behind her desk, and she's looking at the buck slip, that says Dawn Steele on it. And she says, quote, "When are they going to discover that I'm a fraud? When are they going to see that I don't know anything?" I was like, oh my God. If Dawn Steele felt like she didn't know anything, I'm okay. I'm going to be able to do this. There's no doubt in my mind. So here's Aaron, not the Aaron from the Torah, asked to offer sacrifice to God, and he can't move. He's frozen. In fact, not even sure how to do it, and not worthy. How do we know this is because there's a line in the Torah portion, Shmini 9:7, where Moses said to Aaron, "Come forward to the altar." Before this, we had this incredibly dramatic description of Aaron and his sons and the elders, and they all came to the tent of meeting, everyone standing around them, and the question arises, why did Moses have to tell Aaron to come forward? He was the priest. He had just been explained what to do. Why wouldn't he come forward? Why wouldn't he, on his own volition, come out and do what his job was to do? Rashi offers us one explanation for this. He tells us, quote, "Aaron was hesitant and fearful of approaching, and Moses said, 'Why are you hesitant? For this, you've actually been chosen.'" Rabbi Moshe Chaim Sedlikoff said in the name of his grandfather, the Baal Shem Tov, that Moses told Aaron, "Because you are bashful and humble, filled with hesitancy before God, thinking that you are not worthy of such a lofty task as the high priest, for those traits specifically you were chosen. As it is written, the offerings favored by God are a broken spirit." I was always under the impression that one who has a lot of confidence in themselves always wins, whether it's in competitions or, the drive to succeed or in business, that it's the person who has unbelievable confidence in themselves, dare I say even maybe a little bit cocky, that those people are the ones that get ahead. Those people are the ones that really have the most amazing lives. Hold on a second. So as I was thinking about kind of all of these stories together, it seems to me that one achieves a sense of confidence in many different ways. Either it comes from the place that, I know everything, or it comes from a place where one has to overcome their fears and overcome their own kind of perceived inability to be able to do the act that they're asked to do. So that if I sense that feeling inside I'm somehow not absolutely worthy, in overcoming what I need to do, I'm fulfilling a purpose. And indeed, in fulfilling that purpose and in doing the thing, I gain strength. And I'm able to complete it, and I'm able to do it, and I can put aside those feelings that first came into my heart. So the next line, of course, after Moses tells Aaron to come forward is, Aaron came forward to the altar and slaughtered the calf. Even with what Rashi called that trepidation and fear, he comes forward with confidence and he performs his duty. Now, later in the portion, we have two other people that come forth to offer a sacrifice, Aaron's sons, Nadav and Avihu. And they come forward, they offer their own fire, it's strange fire, and God literally zaps them through all of their orifices. Like, you know the Indiana Jones movie, the first Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark? In that last scene, well, fire comes out and goes and all. That's what I actually picture. I call this the Indiana Jones scene from the Torah. So the Talmud offers 12 reasons why those two, when coming forward, are killed, but Aaron is not. So here they have 7, actually, I think I only have 7 reasons on here. Yeah. 1, they didn't consult anyone. They, not even one another. They just kind of went and did it. 2, they refused to marry because they felt that no woman was worthy of their family. 3, they thought they were so great that God could judge them on the attribute of justice and not mercy. 4, they took it upon themselves to make a judgment concerning the laws without consulting the people that made the laws and without consulting Moses. See, that's what happens. 5, they displayed lack of respect to both Moses and Aaron by coming on their own. 6, they were drunk. 7, they entered the Mishkan without washing their hands and feet. All of these point to the fact that they believed they deserved to be the high priest. They thought they knew better. They had zero hesitancy, zero humility, and zero fear of God. They thought they were special. In fact, the reason for Aaron being the high priest was because of his humility. And then the reason for his son's demise could well have been that lack of humility inside of them. In the end, they both offered sacrifice with confidence. However, the place where the confidence comes from was a different place. One came from a humble place, and one came from a haughty place. So what becomes important is to overcome feelings of hesitancy, overcome feelings of fear, and trust that you will find that strength inside of you to be able to overcome yourself and what's keeping you from accomplishing what you need to accomplish. And then when it comes time to act, you'll be able to do it with confidence and humility all at once. Shabbat Shalom. Let's go to page 282 for our concluding prayers. First, we're going to be counting the Omer, the time between Passover and Shavuot. We count each one of these days through 49 full days, and each one of these days has a kind of spiritual dimension to it. And so we will announce. Oh, we got it up there on the screen and everything. We'll announce what today's day is. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer. Hayom tisha yamim shehem shvuah echat u'shnei yamim laomer. Today is the 9th day, making 1 week and 2 days of the Omer. We're in the spiritual dimension of Gvurah in the 2nd week, and the 2nd day is actually Gvurah. It's interesting that my speech today was really about kind of inner strength coming out, because Gvurah is that strength that we have inside of us. And so you think about what is the power inside of the power that you have inside of you. Now let's go to 282. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו עינון.
be seated. In a moment, we'll turn to Kaddish Yatom. I'd like to read on page 290 if you'd like to follow. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched. As we continue with Kaddish Yatom on page 294, we think about those people you loved in your lives that are no longer with you. And we especially remember first those that have died in the last month, whose families are observing Shloshim. Sophia Sharp, Gunter Zernick, Eli Abarbanel-Wolf, Rosie Rostov, Lester Boxer, Rabbi Tzvi Dershowitz, and Yaakov Ben Meir. Is there anyone here in the midst of Shloshim? If you'd please rise and tell us who you're here to say Kaddish for, please. So we recall those that have died at this season in years past. And we especially remember Jack Bourbon and Rosalie Geller and Mark Levy and Bess Alberts and Mark Irwin Kroll. Is there anyone else who I should mention, or if you'd like to stand and say the name of your loved one, please do so.
Also, Wilma Fishman, Yosef Natan Ben Chaim Vefagel, and Pablo Seidler.
Is there anyone who's in the first year after the death of a loved one that would like to stand and acknowledge? Let us rise together in support of the mourners that are here in the congregation today and online. We also say Kaddish Yatom for those that have no one to say it for them, those that have died in the Holocaust, those that have died from COVID-19, those that have died in the violence that occurs daily in our world. Let's say Kaddish Yatom together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach leolam u'lolmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to the whole world, and we say
Amen.
Amen. You may be seated. And now, Cantor Weiss has some announcements.
Thank you. Please join us tomorrow morning for Shabbat Morning at Emanuel. Actually, our text study is at 9 a.m. in the chapel with our rabbinic intern, Michael Walden.
And I believe Rabbi Geller sponsoring our luncheon. What are we having? Brisket? Something good. Probably lox.
Then, why does it say April 2nd event? I think that April 2nd, oh, this is not in the right order. Okay, Rabbi Aaron.
Yeah. On April 19th, which is a Wednesday evening, we're going to be meeting with, has his name on there, Khalid Hudson, who is our new representative for 1LA. IAF. 1LA is the organization that we work with that works with religious organizations all around Los Angeles to make an impact in Los Angeles through the size of our group and the needs of the people within the group. So we work with local politicians to make sure that we've dealt with homelessness, we've dealt with insurance for workers. We were instrumental in getting the vaccine to people who weren't able to get it for themselves and had no internet contact and didn't know where they could get it. What else have they done over the years? Human trafficking, mental health issues. Penny, you were very involved also. What else have we had? Huh? Transportation. And so what we do is we work together, find out what's important to our constituents. We go into the group, and as a very large group, sometimes in this synagogue, sometimes at other churches around Los Angeles, we actually bring in politicians and we get them to agree that they will support the kinds of subjects we think are important for all of us that live in Los Angeles.
It has shown me the power, 1LA represents about 33 dozen organizations and over 20,000 people in Los Angeles. And our new mayor, Karen Bass, sat with us I probably went to 5 meetings last year for 1LA with Karen Bass, and it makes a huge difference.
And so we're having this meeting to kind of announce what will be happening in the next year. So please join us for that on the 19th, which is next Wednesday.
Thank you. And Jason Meshes, do we have any Jason Meshes fans in here? He will be back Shabbat in the yard with our rabbinic intern. Someday I'll make it, but we keep having bar mitzvahs at the same time. But it's super fun, huge turnout, and we have booked him 4 times next year again. So super excited. That's next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Please join us. And next, we have a very important event that, when I said it made a big difference to sit with Karen Bass, that every person matters, this is the event for our temple where every person matters. Honoring the inspirational women of our lives. This is not just for women, it's for men and all people who want to honor women in their lives. And it is the inaugural Temple Emanuel RBG Social Justice Warrior Award that's going to Terry Smook and Diane Vanette. Speaking of 1LA, Diane has been our major liaison for 1LA for, 15 years or something like that. We want to sell out this event. You can buy a table, you can just come yourself. Every single person really can make a difference to help our synagogue so we can continue to have wonderful programming, so we can have the lights on, et cetera, et cetera. Every dollar really counts. So that is May 7th. It's the Sunday before Mother's Day so that you don't have to choose. But honor your mother, honor your grandmother, your aunt. Aunt's Day. This should be an Aunt's Day. I've been asking for a long time. Speaking of Aunt's Day, Songs of Freedom, this is a concert we were going to do before Passover, but everything was crazy, so we decided to give everyone time. It's on May 20th. St. Bridget's Church will be coming to join us. Again, let's fill the room. Beautiful music will be sung. These are huge collaborations. Going back to 1LA, this is a church that we know of because of the relationships that Diane Vanette had with with St. Bridget's Church. So this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful concert. Do I have anything else? Oh!
Mazel tov.
Are they here? They're not, but Sherry
He's
and Leonard.
here.
Oh, there they are. There's Leonard.
There's Grandpa.
Mazel tov on Miles Ellison. How do you say their last name? I don't know. Murky. Born March 28, 2023. And you can read the rest of it. And Rabbi Aaron? Amanda?
Oh, yeah. So is Amanda here? Is
She
Amanda
was
here
here.
tonight? She was here. Amanda, who works with our executive director, is getting married next week, and we wish her a mazel tov.
Last but not least, please join us if you haven't been to LA Oneg next week, third Friday of the month. It's 8 o'clock Oneg and 8:30 service. So eat and then pray and then love. Eat, pray, love. I mean, the loving's up to you, but you know. But it's a very intimate, beautiful service with, I feel like, my best friends, these musicians who just give of their heart and soul at each of these. If you haven't been, again, try it out. Come see what we are offering here at Temple Emanuel. And there's beer, wine, and Krispy Kreme donuts, so you can't go wrong.
Thank you so much for picking up all the candy. If anyone wants any candy, it's all on this chair right over here.
And thank you to Davina for picking up all the candy. Thank you to Helene. If you don't know Helene, she's our head of accounting,
She's back
too.
there. And thank you to
And
Sarah, who's doing all the sound and the
to
pictures.
Bill, and to Tanaz, who's multitasking, greeting in person. And yes, Tanaz deserves a round of applause. Also, if you don't know, our executive director, Sarah Heiner, if you haven't been in the doors for a long time, there she is. And why not finish up our service with Oseh Shalom by Rabbi Jonathan Aaron?
If you'd like to stand up, put your arm around the person next to you if you're comfortable with that, and we'll end with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru amen.
Baruch atem bevoachem, Baruch atem betzeitchem. You were blessed as you came into this space, and may you be blessed as you go out. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Amen.